Dear Hyderabad, your city is dying. In terms of public space, there is none. Greenery is non existent. Getting anywhere is a hassle. Your streets are chock full of vehicles, garbage, and sewage. The metro overflows during rush hour. You keep me at Rapido's mercy. Your buses are falling apart. The city just doesn't feel good to live in, to move in, to be in. While coming here, I imagined walking along the Musi, strolling along riverside promenades. Imagine dining on jalebis and biryanis while enjoying the architecture of the old city. Walking around, taking in the sights. But you didn't let me. All you gave me was honking, dust, and pollution. Well, now you might ask me to go back where I came from, but I'm sorry to say it's more of the same there. I'm just talking to you because I expected better. Honestly, you are being held hostage by your vehicles. The streets are full of traffic. Open space has turned into parking. The peace has been disturbed by honking. Air polluted by vehicle exhaust. All the senses are occupied just to dodge and survive on the road. An able body is not enough to navigate your streets. Imagine if I could tell you, you could solve your traffic, clean up the air, reduce the noise, solve the flooding while improving public health. All of this is possible. Would you listen to me? Well, it's simple really. You start by letting people walk. You can't walk in the city, from anywhere to anywhere else. Walking in this city isn't a behavioral problem, it's an infrastructure one. It has been made impossible by a flurry of encroachments, urban unplanning, and civic apathy. Find me a continuous stretch of footpath just 1 kilometer long. You can't. All throughout the city, I have to jostle between the vehicles fast, loud, heavy, dangerous vehicles. And I feel unsafe on the streets. To walk, just a basic human need to walk. I have to look for manholes, dodge the random garbage and debris, step through sewage, walk around parked cars and running too, dodge the bikes and fast moving vehicles. I love walking. I truly believe that it is the only way to see a city. It is the most efficient mode of transport. It's great for your health and it's free. It relaxes, energizes, vitalizes, and gets you where you need to. But I swear, nowhere in the world has made me hate walking like you, Hyderabad. Walking is absent in the city. Not thought for, not cared for. You might as well die if you choose to walk here. Every road in this city is seemingly designed to screw over pedestrians. This has created a city in which no one can walk, and therefore no one does. When even the shortest distance demands a vehicle, everyone buys and uses one. To get his milk, to meet his friends, to go to work, or just to ride down the street. Your health deteriorates. Your finances go to hell. You create relentless noise and air pollution. When this exact same decision is being made by millions of people across the city, you get what you have here today. Everyone needs to drive, and therefore no one can. The streets are always chock full of vehicles. A 10-minute road takes 30 minutes. You make the city impossible to navigate to a wide range of people who can't drive. The elderly, the children, the physically handicapped are completely disenfranchised from the city. Imagine a college student. Imagine a teenager who can't have a vehicle. He can't travel the city now. This is even more exacerbated with a lack of affordable, regular, and sufficient public transport. A metro is only 50% effective when created without effective pedestrian and feeder networks. Imagine if the entire city's streets had pedestrian walkways. The metro would be at least twice as better. Don't get me started on the buses and the auto rickshaws in this city. The buses are falling apart, and the auto rickshaws might as well be a mafia. Now, even a small nuclear family ends up owning 3 to 4 vehicles. This happens across the city. To meet this demand, you widen the roads, cutting out footpaths even more. building an endless network of flyovers, ring roads, underpasses, making the walkability poorer and poorer. Now, what you have is a jungle of ever congested roads with no space to walk. This ends up creating a need for vehicles for the most trivial distances. You need a vehicle just to cross the street. This makes the city inaccessible to anyone who can't afford private vehicles. The poor, the working class, college students, senior citizens are all denied the right to transport and dignified walking in this city. I would even go as far as to call it the deprivation of the right to freedom, a fundamental right. What happens when this city grows old? Do you bet on yourself always having a vehicle and a driver to take you everywhere? Choked with parking during the day and choked with traffic during rush hours. The once lively streets are reduced to a tug of war between vehicles. Businesses suffer, wholly depending upon parking. Without parking, your business might as well not exist. An evening out in this city is just traffic, honking, and congestion. Going out becomes tiring, costly, and a noisy affair. Nobody wants to go out. Everybody just wishes to order in. That's why the last minute delivery aggregators are so successful. The city dies. The roads only serve as an overflowing gutter to pour more vehicles into, not as streets and an expression of city life. Because of the extremely irregular and haphazard condition of the roads, every drive becomes a ride for survival, full of overspeeding, dangerous overtaking, and honking. Excessive, incessant, never ending honking. When you deprive citizens the right to walk, you deprive them of a healthy and happy life in the city. You deprive children the safe access to education. You deprive the elderly of even being able to walk down from their house. This elderly may be your mother, your father, and in some short time even you. Will you be able to navigate these streets once you can't climb up on your motorcycle? Well, then why isn't anything being done? Well, think about it. Your municipal commissioner, your corporator, your councillor, your block officer, your local government employee, your police officer, even the High Court judge. Everybody has a vehicle, sometimes sponsored by the government. Almost all the employees at government offices have their own car or two-wheeler to take them to work. There was a time when decision makers used public transport. Now that vehicles are affordable, they don't need to. Maybe if we legislate that government officials need public transport, we may see some significant change. The traffic police of the city, whose job is to enforce laws, fine offenders, and track down stolen vehicles, have been reduced to LED baton holding traffic wardens, directing traffic as signalmen, being deployed at busy junctions with no regard to the health, safety, and dignity of their job. That is not their work. When all the decision makers are sitting in air conditioned offices, viewing the city through closed windows of their SUVs, where does the perspective of a common man come from? You claim to be a global city, but what have you truly built in the past decade? Your history, although very impressive, is the work of your ancestors. The Golconda Fort lies in a mountain of trash, poorly managed, crowded, and eroding. Charminar, Qutub Shahi Tomb, and other monuments lie as they were exactly 100 years ago, with little else being done other than the occasional conservation. The Musi River, once the heartbeat of civilization, has been reduced to an open gutter. The old city has been ignored, densified beyond control, overgrown, neglected. Well, now you may boast about the wide lanes of high-tech city, the glossy high-rise housing tech giants shining into the night. What I see is a work camp benefiting multinational corporations with the skilled and cost-effective talent pool of India. Walled off from the city it feeds on, its glamorous malls and eateries demand an average laborer's daily wage for a single meal. But this new city also sees flooding, isn't walkable to any extent, and turning just one street into the back lanes quickly brings you to the similar looking underbelly, unregulated, unplanned, and polluted. The problem isn't with the creation of this new city. The problem is turning your back to the old one, the birthplace of culture, history, art, and houses millions of people. It is left to squander and grow like a malignant cancer rather than being planned as a beautiful bonsai. The monsoon, which once washed the city clean, now holds it hostage. A single spell of rain is enough to shatter the fragile sense of development we have. Electrocutions, drownings, and floods becoming commonplace in this technopolis, taking lives. But it is also a civic issue. We pollute in the name of God, the same God who has given us this green earth to protect. We use plaster and chemicals, and then see our God off into the very lakes and rivers that quench our thirst. We have built a city where the human body is an inconvenience. The judge, the MLA, the IAS officer, the commissioner, all rushed past us in their cars. And we walk in the sewage, get crushed at signals, breathe the cancerous air these vehicles spew, and then gaze aspiringly at the SUVs as they pass by. We can't walk. No footpaths, no intersection crossings, no trees, no shade. To be a pedestrian in Hyderabad is like being a trespasser in your own home. We can't breathe. The air is a thick cocktail of construction dust, vehicle exhaust, and unregulated industry. We can't exercise. Where would we go? Our public areas have been sold. There is no escape, no room for leisure, only the relentless, grinding forward motion of a city perpetually working. You need leisure, you go to the mall and spend your hard earned money. And we let this happen. Our politicians created an alphabet soup of failures: GHMC, HMDA, DTCP, and each one fails to do their job. They get to pass the buck around, but we pay our taxes on time. Every action by authorities is a knee jerk reaction. People electrocuted, cut all overhead cables. Traffic, build another flyover. Flooding, can't do anything about flooding. The policymakers and planners seem to be not able to see past their nose in terms of planning. Instead of long term investment, development, and thought, the rush is to extinguish the current fire. And of course, political showboating. We are all kept in line by family and society into doing the right thing. We are fined when we break traffic laws, even if the roads are abysmal. We are shooed away from government offices if we don't know someone there or offer a bribe. In our families, we dare not disobey an elder. They may yell at us, discipline us, or even hit us. Now that we have grown up, where does this courage go? Why don't we find the courage to make this city better? To yell at the next guy who pisses or litters in the street? The sad truth is, if we don't take ownership, no one will. If we, the citizens, don't find these needs pressing, if it doesn't piss you off, nobody will come down from the sky and fight for us. So I ask you, residents of Hyderabad, do you find it necessary to make this city a place worth living? Or are you content with what is being served? This isn't a love letter, this is a lament. I was never able to acquaint myself with the city. I tried walking around it. I was greeted by dust, garbage, honking, and sewage. A city is not the newest mall with the luxury brand or the new cinema with the new speaker system. A city is about the people, the culture, the history. A city is about civilization. Don't turn insects in your own city. Don't scurry around like rats. Walk with dignity. Demand for spaces. I have been in this city for a short time. You may again ask me to go back where I came from. But I'm sorry to say, it's much the same there. Hyderabad, your city is dying, and its people are too busy trying to survive to even notice it's gone.